Come on in.
Hello.
Come on in.
Thank you so much. Hi, Mr. Dunn. How are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
So good to meet you. My name is Nicole Thomsen. I'm with ADP.
Maybe I'll call maintenance, see if they can fix that door lock.
That would be awesome.
Okay, not
It
a
was
problem.
just giving me a problem, but
Happens.
I'm so happy to be here today. So I'm so happy you know Pat. He had amazing things to say about Millennium Technologies. So I'm really excited to hear more about your company today as well. So before I begin, is there anyone else who should be sitting in on this meeting?
No, pretty
No?
much the head boss, so.
Perfect. So I'd like to take the next 15 minutes or so and just find out more about your company, how your current practices work, and see if ADP could be a strategic partner with you. How does that sound?
Sounds like an initial start.
Perfect. Sounds great. So tell me more about your company. How many locations do you have? How many employees do you have at each of those locations? What does that look like?
Okay, we have 45 employees.
Okay.
Been in business for about 4 years.
Perfect.
And we are in multiple states.
Perfect. Awesome. That's great to know. And so if you don't mind me asking, how do you currently do your payroll services?
We utilize a company now.
Okay. And so what is it? What exactly does that company offer? How does the step-by-step work and how they process your payroll services? Could you walk me through that?
Yeah, I mean, we signed up with them years ago.
Okay.
They initiate the checks, get the checks ready, sometimes manually signature.
Okay.
They provide documentation for me, which I sign off on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Do some calculations for things like payroll taxes. It's basically what they do.
Gotcha. So if I'm hearing this correctly, it's somewhat of a manual way that they do it right now. So there's lots of handwriting then probably going on. And then how long does that normally take you guys to do your payroll services?
I'll be honest, I'm not even 100% aware.
Gotcha.
We decided to utilize that because it was important.
Right.
And because my main priority is taking this company to the next level. Taking
Absolutely.
this company to the next level of security. Could be
Absolutely.
Cyber security.
Awesome.
And the payroll thing, it's not my priority, but I understand it's the foundation of paying your employees for the business.
Absolutely. And happy employees stick with the organization too, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's most of the time, yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. So then you said you don't really know how long that technically takes you each week, but if you could give me a ballpark estimate, would you say like 10 hours probably, or less, more? What would you say?
Oh, with let's see, it's normally a 40-hour work week, so I'm not dedicating 25. I'd probably get 4 or 5
Okay. Okay. So like 4 or 5 hours maybe or so, somewhere in there. So then have you run into any legal penalties with your current system that you have in place with the tax penalties? I know the bylaws can be pretty strict. Have you faced any of that?
That is one of the concerns that I have with respect to the system. They put together documentation, they provide me information, I sign my name on it.
Okay.
Most transactions I have my attorney look at it, I have my attorney review it, and then I sign it upon his approval. With this company, they said, all right, here you go.
Right.
And I sign off on it. And if there are financial implications or inaccuracies, that's my signature on the bottom. And I'm held
Absolutely.
liable.
So then you are currently held liable then for these taxes.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So definitely that is a huge thing, and we run into that with a lot of the organizations we meet with, is those tax penalties can be really debilitating. Like I've heard up to $5,000 sometimes. So really, is that something that you think if we could be able to take on that liability for you completely, that you would have a peace of mind about that and would want to do something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If I could be reassured that the information I'm getting is correct and accurate, and me signing my signature towards it, it'll be the same thing as my attorney saying.
Absolutely. And I'm sure the fees are pretty high for that attorney as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, the attorney costs are not inexpensive.
Yeah, so I would love to cut down those costs for you too, and just be able to take on that liability so you can focus on growing your business. So I think that would be something that could definitely work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so also I wanted to ask you, do you currently run background checks on your employees? And if so, how does that look?
We do run background checks now,
Okay.
but they're minimal.
Minimal? Okay.
Do a check through Google.
Okay.
Sometimes I have a friend on the police department, I haven't run something, but
Yeah.
that's about the level of ours. And based upon our contracts, it's something we have to get more involved in.
Absolutely.
On a future ongoing basis.
That's very important. And do you have any upcoming opportunities where you see if you don't have this in place that it could harm your business having the wrong employees slide through or anything like that? Would that stunt your growth, do you think?
It would necessarily stunt our growth, but it would minimize our growth opportunity.
Absolutely.
We were fortunate enough to receive some recent contracts to provide services to these entities, and they are very strict on background checks.
Absolutely.
People engage with this, they reveal classified information, so
Absolutely.
it is a part of the future going forward.
Very good to know. And what are those new contracts, if you don't mind me asking?
Surprisingly, they're all government related. So
Congratulations. That's awesome. That's a huge, huge accomplishment. So
yes,
definitely anything that involves government, it's very strict regulation. So I definitely think that ADP could be of service with you with the background checks. So what we do with the background checks is we are able to do run the social security numbers, federal, state, and all that. So we make sure that these people are who they say they are. We're bringing in only the best into your organization, which is really important when you're working with government and high up agencies as well. So that's one way we can do that. And before I move on too, do you have an employee handbook in place at all?
we do.
Okay.
They get it normally the third or fourth day after their employment.
Gotcha. And how often do you guys really have changes to that handbook, or has there been times where maybe a job description changes or something changes and it's harder to go back and adjust that?
I'll be honest with you. We made it just to be par with other companies and give them
Right.
some guidance and minimize them from asking me these questions.
Yes.
I can be honest, I don't really know how often they get it.
Okay, and that's something too that we can address too. So before I move forward with you, just telling you what we can do at ADP to help you. If I'm hearing you correctly, you'd love to probably save some more time. You'd also like us to probably take on that liability for you for the tax penalties, so you're not faced with that, as well as also the employee background checks. That's going to be huge for you moving forward, and also the handbook. So is that correct?
Correct.
Perfect. Okay, so I'd love to take some time and just walk you through that. So I'm going to show you, we run through a mobile app, but you can also use this on computer systems as well. So I'll run you through this real quick. It's really handy, and being a tech company, you guys are pretty tech savvy, I'd assume too.
Yep.
So this is what the app looks like, so I'm just going to run you through this. So this is the face front of the app right here. So as far as payroll services go, it's very quick process. So as you can see, I'm going to run my payroll right now. You can pick your start date. Are you guys bi-weekly on your payroll, or are you weekly?
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly?
Depending upon the employee.
Okay, perfect. And we are able to customize to that. So you can put the start date, direct deposit. You can move on to that, which is great. And then it will show you absolutely every single employee in your organization. You have your salary pay and also hourly, so you can see the difference in that and double check everything.
A lot of information.
It's really not. So it's because you have all of this in the app, which is fantastic. And even when you go into this, you don't have to click into any of these employees. So for you, you're just really running through, seeing, okay, do these hours look correct? And what we also offer too is geo-tracking services, which is great. So the second your employees step foot in your facility, they're automatically clocked in, which is awesome. So there's no buddy punching, there's none of that going on. So it's super accurate. But if you were concerned with a certain employee, you could just really go through, glance it over, say that looks good, that looks correct. You preview this, so all the steps that you would normally take, you literally just click this button, it calculates it for you. I'm going to hit OK. So here's the cash required, so you know how much you're going to have to be paying your employees that paycheck in total amount, and then you would just literally click approve, and your payroll is done. So even though you're saying you spend about 4 to 5% of your time, this took me like under a minute. So it's very, very efficient, very, very quick. So I hope you could see that. And then also I know you were concerned about,
what type of timeline does it take to initiate this? Because
yeah,
when I was dealing, I was speaking with Pat for months now.
Right.
She wasn't always happy-go-lucky about how things went.
Right. And I would love to address that with you and find out more about that as well. I know anytime you implement new technology, people are kind of hesitant to it at first. But what we do offer, which is fantastic, is we have a specialist come in and train your employees, train you for about a week or two. We will sit down with you, walk you through this app, make sure everyone feels so comfortable using it. And the best thing is, too, I'm always a point of reference for you. So if you have any questions, you can personally call me. And we also have 24/7 support services, too. So you can call a phone number. If you have any questions, they will walk you through. And we always have staff local and ready to come in and help you that day as well if you have any concerns. So even though it might seem like it's a little bit of a commitment, taking that week or two, it is well worth it in the long run from the time we're going to save you each week. Because as you saw, it took me about a minute.
What happened with Juno? Why was there a 6 month period, give or take, of I don't know if I made the right decision.
And I think people definitely will always go through that thought process, and I met with him last week, and I was able to definitely clarify those things with him. So what we do at ADP that's different than most people is we have full encompassing. So we are cash management, risk management, and people management. So we cover all these things in the wheel. So we're not just HR and payroll services. Like I said, we take on that liability, which is something that he didn't realize before, that we were completely taking on these liabilities and saving him money. And then something too I wanted to talk to you today that I had spoke with him last time, just because cost can be a concern sometimes, I know too, is we have a referral package, and I got him set up with that. And then also retirement services is a huge thing too. And is that something that you would be interested in today, hearing more about? Because I know you really want to attain those employees, especially in the IT sector.
Are you saying that because that's what Carol told you?
No,
And Pat
absolutely.
told you, or is that because it's part of the industry?
No, absolutely not. I am telling you exactly as I would with all my other, so as I do with all my clients. I just want to see you guys succeed and do the
Mm-hmm.
best that you can. So I'm here to set you up for success. I'm here to save you money and time in the long run. And although I know at front it can be intimidating to take on a new service, I want you to know that I'm here for you and I'm here to see you succeed.
Okay.
And I know that I don't know if you'd be interested in seeing this, but this is basically about attaining top talent. So this is an article I found. I thought it was super interesting. I really like to show people this. So the number one reason people stay with an organization is their retirement plans or lack thereof. And as you can see even here, it's really interesting because a lot of the time you don't think millennials are thinking about this, but nowadays, I mean, it is really one of the top deciding factors why people stay with an organization. So what we do at ADP is we're able to bring in retirement service packages for your employees. We are able to factor that into your payroll, so it's very simple. So we are able to calculate those taxes for you, set up those services for your employees so they have great retirement plans with you too. Is that something you would be interested in?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely something I'd be interested in with respect to maintaining talent, growing talent,
Absolutely.
and taking this company to the next level, both from a security component as well as a overall corporate component.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you see that because I can see you guys doing that as well. So I know we talked about a little bit your new contracts and stuff, but where do you see your company in the next 10 years?
I don't know, to be honest with you. It can be anywhere from a triple in size based upon successful
Absolutely.
within the government contracts,
Absolutely.
or we can be acquired,
Yeah.
or my wife and I can get divorced, and she can take half of it. I actually have no idea where
I'm
10
going
years
with the
land
first
is.
one. I think you guys are going to do great.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I just want you to think for a second. I know, like you said, you were a little hesitant at first, just when you talked to Pat and stuff. But could you see the benefit in this services? Like today, have I explained how I can save you time and money and really take those liabilities off of you? Can you see a benefit in moving forward with this?
I can see a benefit that you've identified some areas of concern. I
Absolutely.
don't necessarily know I see a benefit right now about moving forward
Okay.
to the next step of enrollment.
Absolutely, and
That's
I
premature.
understand. And I can give you some time to think about it, but I really think it would be beneficial if you and I met next week on Monday, possibly. If
Mm-hmm.
that works for you, 9 o'clock.
For what?
I would love to follow up with you more about these services and just if you hear more about your concerns. I can even come. I have this right here if you want to sign off on this today. It's just so that I can get information about your company so I can create a tailored package for you guys. So what I can do is I can go through and make a custom package for you. We do not bundle, we do bundle our services, but I do it personalized and individualized to your company. So I think it next week would be great to be able to meet with you, sit down and talk about this more, and just really see how we can start to reach those goals of yours as a company to grow.
So I still don't know what this is.
No, absolutely. So basically, this is not signing a contract. This is nothing like that. This is just letting me take information about your employees, just your company, just so I'm able to process it through our system and come up with a set price for you guys next time when we meet. How does that sound?
Um, but there's so much more we talked about and specifics.
Yeah.
This just looks like it would only do a cost assessment of 1 or 2 items. Is it going to do more than that?
Absolutely, all of it will do. So I promise you, you will be so satisfied with this next meeting. How about we meet next Monday?
We can meet next Monday. I don't know what I still don't know what we're going to be accomplishing next Monday, but um, I'm willing to sit down with you again and better understand what the next steps are.
Perfect. That sounds great to me. I will send you an Outlook, okay? Thank you
Okay.
so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. What do you want?